Today I thought we'd shake things up a little bit by talking about some movies that I actually like. It's a really weird change of pace, I know. I'm not even sure if I even know how to review good movies. They just don't come around my show very often. Let's get started. Number 10. John Wick. There are a few movies I considered putting on the 10th spot, but I couldn't not choose John Wick after seeing the absolute travesty known as Taken 3. Spoilers for my worst movies of 2015 list. That's going to be my number 1 pick. We still have 11 months to go and I'm already sure of it. It's that bad. Anyway, while I was watching Taken 3 fail at absolutely everything, my mind kept going back to its fellow revenge action thriller John Wick, which did almost everything right. John Wick is the best action movie of 2014, and one that future action movies should strive to be like. I saw John Wick as sort of a throwback to a time before Paul Greengrass ruined action scenes forever with shaky cam. It's a very well-shot movie, boasting fluid, steady camera work and restrained editing that lets you sit back and take in the amazing scenes without wondering what's going on. Perhaps more importantly, it's also got a memorable leading character played by a well-cast Keanu Reeves, who proves once again he's the go-to man to sell an action scene. John Wick is a really cool movie made with wit and style, and one that deserved more attention than it got. Number 9. Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler's up here because it works as a whole lot of things. It's a great character study of a man driven to do crazy things by his own unchecked ambition. It's a great satirical look at the media and how it panders to the public's love of violence. And it's a dark, exciting, and visually well-crafted thriller. It all works thanks mostly to another great performance from Jake Gyllenhaal, who makes a top 10 list-worthy movie almost every year. I can't wait to see what he does next. Number 8. The Drop. Who doesn't like Tom Hardy? No, really, I want to know. If you don't like Tom Hardy, leave a comment below. I have no idea how you couldn't. The Drop is one of those slow-burn crime thrillers that relies heavily on the performances and the dialogue. Think something like Killing Them Softly. Only good. Tom Hardy plays this quite complex character who's very compelling to watch. He's a real soft-spoken and nice guy who's also got a lot of suppressed anger deep down. He runs a bar owned by the mob with his cousin, who's played by James Gandolfini, who is in top form in his final performance. As often happens in movie mob establishments, things go deadly. It's really great watching a lot of well-written characters played by great actors interact with each other as everything falls apart. Number 7. Gone Girl. This movie is pretty ridiculous, but it's very entertaining and quite disturbing. I think this is one of David Fincher's best movies to date, and he's certainly made a lot of good ones already. I think this one's better if you go in knowing as little as possible about it, so I won't say any more. Hello? What do you mean that was a lazy cop-out? Number 6. The Grand Budapest Hotel. Yeah, I of all people put the quirky hipster movie up here. This movie has to be good. Truth is, I've never seen anything quite like it. It's got this weird kind of stage play vibe where all the sets are deliberately cheesy, and the actors are way over the top. The pace is pretty breakneck too. Yet all of it works to form a very funny, charming, and original murder mystery movie. All the actors in this movie's really impressive cast are great. It's still going. If you're looking for something different, I recommend the Grand Budapest Hotel. Number 5. Stretch. Remember when I said that Drive Hard was Collateral meets Stupid? Well, Stretch is Collateral meets Awesome. It's got a very similar premise, only in this one, the down-on-his-luck driver needs to drive around an eccentric druggy billionaire rather than a hitman. I love how over-the-top and wacky things get as the driver bows to the billionaire's every outrageous demand in hopes of obtaining a huge tip to pay back a debt he owes to some thugs. The cast is awesome. You have Patrick Wilson as Stretch the driver, Captain Kirk as the billionaire, Ed Helms as a ghost, Jessica Alba as a surprisingly not annoying character, and Ray Liotta and David Hasselhoff playing parodies of themselves. Stretch is funny, unpredictable, and it has a really likable and relatable central character who you want to see come out on top. You don't really see that often anymore. I must have seen dozens of direct-to-DVD movies in 2014, and this was the only one that made the list. Was it worth going through endless direct-to-DVD garbage to find Stretch? Absolutely. It's awesome. Number 4. Enemy. The second Gyllenhaal movie on this list. I'm sure that he's honored. Not a lot of people saw this one, but you should if you're a fan of the movies of David Lynch or directors like him. Enemy is a dark, nasty, and extremely effective surrealist movie about a guy who finds out he has a double that is attempting to sabotage his life, while giant spiders crawl around everywhere. It's exactly as weird as it sounds. Go watch it. Number 3. Birdman. I don't like complaining about award shows on here. I think that would make me look like I'm too easily upset or have no life. That being said, I'd be annoyed if Michael Keaton doesn't take home the Best Actor Oscar. I wouldn't let it ruin my day, because that's just stupid. Nor will I post an angry profanity-filled rant about the awards, because who would want to see that? But Keaton really deserves it, though. The movie works because he takes a bizarre character and makes him into someone we can connect with. Birdman walks the line between funny and tragic, and is the weirdest movie of 2014, but also one of the most compelling. It's a great character study with some interesting things to say about celebrity culture and the difference between being loved and being admired. Number 2. Whiplash. The most intense movie of 2014 is not a war or a horror movie, but a movie about a kid playing the drums. Now that is some quality filmmaking. It sort of reminds me of Nightcrawler with its statements on unchecked ambition, only it goes to different places with these themes. J.K. Simmons plays the band instructor who torments the band and pushes them beyond their limits in hopes of creating just one truly great musician. What can I say? He was born to play this role. Every time he's on screen, I got all bunched up and wanted to cover my eyes, waiting for him to snap. The editing. Wow, it's amazing. It's so tight and clever. It makes a simple drum solo seem like an exciting fight sequence. I also really like the ending, which did something fresh that I did not predict. Whiplash is awesome, and I'm glad that I put this video off until I could see it. Before I reveal my number 1 pick, how about some honorable mentions? How about Edge of Tomorrow? Tom Cruise and sci-fi are pretty much an unbeatable combo. Edge of Tomorrow is typically exciting and inventive, but it's also surprisingly funny. Who'd have thought? The Lego Movie. A very fun roller coaster ride of great animation, humor, and subversive storytelling. Not bad for what is essentially a commercial for Legos. Fury, a super intense war movie with some outstanding performances from its entire cast. David Ayer directs it masterfully, creating an immersive experience with almost non-stop suspense. When someone gets shot or has their head blown off, you feel it. Very well done. Captain America: The Winter Soldier. The best Marvel movie since Iron Man. Captain America 2 delivers on the action while also providing a smart, intriguing story with lots of relevant commentary on safety versus freedom in the world today. Okay, now for my pick for my favorite movie of 2014. Number 1. Interstellar. Yes, I just picked the most divisive movie of 2014 as my favorite. If you're one of the many people who didn't like it, that's okay. You don't need to. Just personally, I think this is the greatest blockbuster in years. It's an ambitious, truly epic science fiction movie packed with big ideas and visual spectacle, but it's also emotional and intimate when it comes to its characters. I was touched, I was thrilled, and I walked out of the theater with my heart pounding. It's pretty much everything you could want from a movie like this. And that Hans Zimmer score. I'm still listening to it 3 months later. My love for Interstellar transcends all dimensions, and that's why it's on the number 1 spot on my list. So there's my top 10 movies of 2014. I hope I've brought some movies that you may not have seen that I actually like to your attention. Check back later and I'll review something current. Hopefully something good. But probably not.